Well, as you can hear, I think there is a blackbird making a lot of noise. This is pale yellow, and this is its alarm sound. So the blackbird alarm goes off, and most of the time that happens when a cat is somewhere here in the gardens. Now there is no cat in our garden, so I think there is one in the garden of the neighbors, and this blackbird clearly is not amused by this cat. And by the way, this is a Pablo pencil, pale yellow. But I also heard a magpie. You know, magpies, the black and white birds, they can be very annoying. But I think this time it's a cat. And we are having quite a lot of cats in our garden. We don't have, we have no pets because my husband and I, we are both quite allergic to everything that has fur. So a goldfish maybe, a fish might do the trick. But you know, we have a pond, but there are no fish in the pond. We have salamanders. I think in English they are called newts, something like that. But here in the neighborhood where we live, there are quite a few cats living around. And it looks like that they the world order here in the neighborhood, the cat world order, changed a little bit. And here I have Primrose luminance. For a very long time we had this cat walking through our garden four times a day. Excuse me, that was a little bit of a cough. Now we used to have a cat doing some sort of border patrol 4 times a day through our garden. And then suddenly, a while ago, we didn't see him, and instead of this white and orange colored cat, oh, do you see what happens? Here we have the Derwent eraser. Let's clean it a little bit. Oh, I think the eraser wants new batteries. And then suddenly we saw 3 other cats doing the border patrol. So I think this first orange white cat lost part of his territory, and now the other 3, and they clearly know each other, so maybe they live in the same home. The other 3 are now walking through our garden multiple times a day. They are lying down in our garden, relaxing like it really, it's like it's their kingdom. Here I have Luminance Castell Earth. Now this area over here, it is actually not yellow, but this is a lot darker with yellow spots. So I'm going to try to make this look like a spotted area, and I have no idea how I'm going to do that, but let's just... I hope that the textured paper will help me out a little bit. So what I want is that the light tones shine through a little bit. We are having a period of extreme drought here in the Netherlands. It has been hot since the month of May, and we have had a couple of breaks, cooler and wet days, but the cool and wet days were so few that the government is now taking steps on water management. Let's put in a teeny tiny touch of dark indigo. Now I don't want this to look green, you know, blue and yellow make green. So I will be careful. It has been hot for a long time, and it's still hot, and there were so many hot days that I decided to do a lot of online shopping, you know. I do have summer clothes, of course, but I thought I've not enough. This is Castell Earth again. I really thought I need more summer outfits. So I bought a dress and shirts, and whoa, this is black. And for the next week, they expect another heat wave, and I don't think we will experience a lot of difference with the weather that we already have, because it's already hot. But okay, we will have a heat wave. Let's get back to that pale yellow. Oh, you see here, there was blue, I'm adding pale yellow, and now I have green. And this is Castell Earth. If the weather is good in the Alps, the European Alps if the weather is good, I'm sure we will see a couple of these beautiful swallowtail butterflies. And I did some research to the little village where we are staying, and just a couple of minutes from our home, oh, I hear a bird of prey. I was too late. There was this bird of prey. Let's see if I can find it in that beautiful book here that I have here. It was a gift. It came with the luminance pencils. Absolutely most beautiful book. Let's see if I can find it here. The section with the birds. Now let's go here. Birds of prey. Where is it? This one. I think it's this one. The rough-legged buzzard. It's something like that. I can still hear that bird, but this is it. These are pictures. Yeah, beautiful. So let's continue. I had a day without any coloring. Sometimes that happens, but today I'm going to continue this joyful butterfly. And I am slowly going to switch from these softer luminance pencils to a slightly harder pencil. But first let's continue a little bit of luminance here. This is Castell earth, a dark brown. I've been watching a couple of videos about people who do vlogging in nature, and I found a Danish nature photographer. You know, sometimes you need inspiration. I need inspiration for the Passion for Pencils channel, and maybe you know, if you have a business, I'm sure people will relate to this. Pale yellow. When you have a business of your own, or maybe you are working in a business, then once in a while you get this hunch that it's time for the next step. And the Passion for Pencils channel is it's young and it's evolving, and I feel it's time for that next step. And the question is, what is the next step? So I am watching people who are involved in wildlife photography, landscape photography, painting, doing creative stuff, people who work in the woods, just to get some inspiration. And of course, the best inspiration for me comes from nature itself. And I have this little notebook. I'll show you that in another episode. I have this little notebook, and I planned on taking it with me when I am walking, but I often forget it, so I want to. This is black. I want that notebook to evolve into something, and I don't know. It's not for sketching so much. at least not the way I thought it would be. I gave it a shot last year, getting out with that notebook and trying to do some watercolor painting outdoors, and although I love that, it's not working perfectly for me. So I think I want to use that notebook in a different way. Maybe to write down names of colors that I see in nature, or writing down adventures, animals that I encountered, stuff like that. But that all has to evolve. Now over here, this is the moment that I'm going to switch from the softer luminance to the harder lead Polychromos. Here I have Polychromos black, because I want to keep this very, very precise. And Polychromos is a little bit harder and is great for detailed work because it keeps its sharp point so well. And that's exactly what I want right now. Going back to the luminance. And again, I forgot my reading glasses. I think I'm going to grab them. Here they are. Very cheap reading glasses. And I really must not forget to put them in the carry-all bag. In my Derwent carry-all bag. That Derwent carry-all bag is going with me to Switzerland for sure. And I need to figure out what I would like to take with me on vacation. I'm not sure yet. I'm working on a painting of a tiger. I'm going to pick that up and take that with me. So I will take watercolor paint with me, a couple of brushes, and that painting of that tiger. And of course I would like to take pencils with me as well. And there's something else that I want to test. And that is graphite tracing paper. But I need to buy that first. But that's stuff like that is nice to take with me on vacation and then try stuff like that. And there's also a pencil company, an art supplies brand that contacted me asking if they could send me material so I can review it for them. And well, if they decide to send me some and it comes in time, then I can take that with me to test it and then make a review. I must admit, painting with or drawing with reading glasses is so much easier. Now I don't know what happened over here, but there should be a yellow line here, and it's not there. So here I have the Pablo. I gave it a very, very sharp point. Let's see if I can squeeze that yellow in. Now Pablo is quite opaque, so that helps in this case. And here is my luminance. No, that's not true. Polychromos black. That's good. A while ago I asked you for suggestions for the Passion for Pencils channel, and there were quite a few people who had great suggestions, so thank you. And if you have more ideas, then please let me know. I've been following the news about that soccer team in Thailand, the boys who were trapped in the cave. And yesterday I saw that they were all released from hospital. And there was this press conference, and they looked all very healthy and quite mentally they looked quite stable. I hope for those guys that it will stay that way. And there's something that I found very interesting, that I learned that the boys are going to a monastery for a while. And I've learned that in Thailand it is quite common for young people to go to a monastery for a while and learn about meditating, about meditation and well, being of service to the world. Very interesting. And it is said that meditation was one of the things that helped the boys survive the entrapment in the cave. It's an extraordinary, really extraordinary story. So I was watching not television but YouTube. There was a news channel that was broadcasting live, translating in English. And I was also very impressed by those Navy SEAL soldiers. 3 of them and a military doctor volunteered to stay with the boys in the cave for quite a while. This is pale yellow again. And they were at the press conference, but the doctor, he was recognizable, but the other 3, they are still on active duty. So they had baseball caps on their heads and large black sunglasses, so they wouldn't be recognized. Yeah. Incredible story. Here is Castell Earth again, Luminance. I'm going to sharpen it. And if you are wondering, what am I using? Just this. An ordinary sharpener. Really nothing special at all. Now let's take a look. Taking a very light touch because I want only the top, the hilltops of this paper to be covered. You know, you have hills and valleys on textured paper, and the valleys are all covered with the yellow because I put that on first and I made sure it was everywhere, and now I will use a light touch so I can cover the hills, the tops, with this Castell Earth.